Right, this is road to 100k day one, I guess. Now, first of all, let me clarify, it's not day one of e-commerce. I've been doing it since June, so around 9-10 months. And I think with each video, I'm just going to come on with like a topic that I'm going to talk about, and then we're just going to title this because it's cool to look back on when I'm just fucking sat there in my Lamborghini, just like, yeah, it's chill. You can see me in my parents' house at the start. Yeah, whatever. It's not like I'm in like a 5-bedroom penthouse right now or anything. Some shit like that. So for context, literally just launched a new brand. It's doing terribly. For even more context, had an old brand, scaled it to six figures in 20 days, 15 days, something stupid like that, and then I fucked off to Australia for a month like a dick, and it all went downhill, and the products had terrible returning customer rates. So I was like, right, we'll just sack it off. I don't want to be a cunt and just scale an absolute horror product. It was great marketing and I was really happy with that, but so now I was like, oh, I'll launch this. I've been working on this product for 2 months and it's currently doing terribly, like absolutely horrendously. So I'm going to wait for a week, see what happens, but it's not looking promising, which is a good lesson. Don't waste 2 months. So from now on, I'm never doing that again. And I will just be starting with drop shipping and then going into custom product, because I just had a lot of conviction in it. And I was like, I might as well give it a go. And I'm glad I did, because I learned a lot and I now know not to do that again. But it just goes to show you can think you have a lot of conviction in something. And I think I had a lot of false confidence from my last product, because I was like, okay, I now know what I need to do to get a good product. And I do. But I think there's always going to be that sense of, if the market doesn't want it and you can't predict that, essentially, then that is what's going to happen. So that's the update. Now there's no real update with the brand, and I will be saying what the brand is eventually once we get, but I want to build like a moat. So I want to have at least 5k orders, have like custom packaging, an actual brand going before I just say what my product is. Say I'm doing like 10k days, by the way, and then someone just comes along and just out fucking does the shit out of me. So eventually I will be saying, I think. That's not confirmed, but I do want to, because I think that's the thing with dropshipping, or at least with my old product, for example. I've never tell people what it was. Like, say my grandparents ask, right, I'm not going to tell them what I'm doing. It's just, I want to be able to say what I'm doing and actually be proud of it, you know. And I think marketing, especially in DTC, like direct response marketing, it's always going to be a bit aggressive, especially if you want to stand out in the supplement space, which is what I'm sort of doing. You're always going to have to be quite aggressive, so marketing is always going to be a bit questionable, but at least like with the website and like the claims that you're making and stuff, it could be, you want to be a good guy, right? And so what I'm going to be talking about today, I think, and it's a big thing, is mindset. And it's something that genuinely irritates me so much, because I've got this dual personality, right? I got the side of me that's super locked in, and I got the side of me that's just a fucking bum and just wants to do nothing all day. And I don't let the second side of me win a lot, but I feel like I'm constantly, and as someone with big aspirations and wanting to actually do something in my life and to build something big, right? Every day that you're not doing that, you feel like shit. So today, last 3 days, since I got back from Bali pretty much, I've just been watching YouTube, doom scrolling, just so bad. And I think it's because I know I'm going back to uni in a few days, and I know once I'm at uni I'm going to be going out a lot, which I'm happy to do, and I do want to be going out and drinking and stuff and having fun, because it's my last time in uni, and realistically I can build this whatever, but that 1 month I'm never going to get back. So I'm still going to be doing dropshipping stuff on the side and still making these videos and stuff. By the way, I won't be making one of these every day. It'll be like, say I do one in 4 days, I'll then just call that day 4, so we'll just skip a few days. You're going to have to kind of, because this isn't some 24/7 live stream challenge. I'm not going to be sitting here recording myself all the time. But yeah, mindset and how important it is if you actually want to do something. And I think a big thing is you have to learn to be bored. And it's something that I'm seriously bad at. I'm good at, right, once I get into the gist. And then you let yourself slip. You let yourself slip once, right? Say a big thing that I like to do, or I'm big on, is not watching something while you're eating. And I then watched something while I was eating, and then I didn't, and then I didn't, and then I did again. I was like, oh, yeah, it's fine. And then all of a sudden, you're watching something when you're eating every single time. And it sounds like not a big thing when you're saying that, right? But then all of a sudden, you then want that stimulation all the time. And I sound like such a knob, but I guess anyone that watching these videos will be sort of into this sort of stuff, so it'll be fine. But in order to do work a lot and do good work, you need to have a low level baseline of dopamine. If there's the option, right, let's say hypothetically, I don't watch porn, but let's say someone that watches porn all the time, right, goons, cereal, I've just sprinkled leaves all over myself, there goes any aura that I've accumulated, which I don't think is any. Serial gooner, right, gooning 5 times a day to porn, watching Riley Reid get the shit fucked out of her every single day, right, and then he has to go sit there and write an advertorial. How is he going to do that when he's just watched Riley Reid butt naked, right? It's not possible. Whereas someone who just eats pretty simple meals, goes to the gym, exercises, doesn't really watch YouTube, doesn't consume much. I think consuming's a big thing. The work's going to be easier, and I've literally experienced this in myself. I've not been on the serial gooner spectrum, at least not for many years. Back in my heyday, though, you best believe during COVID I was getting seriously bored. Let's just leave it at that. I've had it where I don't watch anything, and it's insane how much easier the work gets. You find, you're thinking of, for example, angles and anything to do with work way easier. Like shit will just, like I'll be sat here, right, for example, and it'll just come to you, and you're just like, fuck, that's actually a really good idea. Whereas if I'm just watching YouTube, right, all day, well, like say I finish work, let's go straight to watching YouTube. Your brain doesn't really have time to sort of like stew and like process it, so you won't come up with angles that are good, you won't come up with ideas that are good. Whereas, for example, I was just in Bali, right, and the first 2-3 weeks, the last week I was locked out, but the first 2-3 weeks I was really good. Bro, shit would just be coming to me, and it's just insane how much mindset has. And I think it's obviously it's the biggest limiting factor, especially when it comes to e-commerce, because from the start you are the only person, you are the needle mover, and if you aren't doing enough work, your store's gonna go shit. And I've also experienced that with my old store when I went to Australia for a month. You think, oh, I've got these ads that are doing well, they'll be fine, they won't fatigue while I'm away. Ad account gets banned while you're away, move to a new ad account, aren't making ads fatigue. All of a sudden you've gone from making 5k profit a day to a whole lot of niche, and it's just like, okay, that's a bad feeling. And at the moment I'm making no money, like literally none, and it's just a weird feeling. And I think it's a good lesson, because I'm never going to take my foot off the gas again. I'm never doing that. Wherever I go, if I'm on holiday, whatever, I'm still working, and at least I'll have a team in place, a creative team, so I'm still getting output. I think that's the main thing. If you haven't got like a strategist or an agency that are making ads, and you go on holiday, bruv, you are the only person making ads. Your editor's not going to suddenly just become fucking Eugene Schwartz and start pumping out 8 ads a week. Like, no, it's just going to stagnate, and nothing good's going to happen. And it was what someone told me. They were like, oh yeah, you can leave it for like 2 months, you'll still make money. I mean, you'll still make a bit of money, but it'll go down and down, and it's just harder to come back. So never take your foot off the gas while you have momentum. And I think that's just what I wanted to get off my chest, really, is the mindset thing, because it's been really bugging me the last few days. Because whenever I'm not doing well, I get really, I'm very aware of it. I don't just like suddenly realise 3 weeks into partying and going out and just doing fuck all with my life, like, oh wait, I'm actually doing nothing. Like, I realised that day of. But it was just it's just annoying, but it's what everyone does. I just need to man up, do the work. I think it's also because I launched, and I had such high expectations for the launch, and then when you see first day £200 spend, 0 sales, which is a whole, I'll get into that. I think I fucked up the launch, but it's just like, well, I've just done that for 2 months, why would I want to do work now? Which I think's fair. That's a valid response to a horror launch, but you kind of just have to put your head up, either start thinking, why is it not working, or make a completely new product, which I think is what I might do. And I'm sure someone could. And the thing is, I feel like it might just resurrect itself. So for a bit of context, I launched 30 ad sets in the launch in a CBO, which was retarded, because that's probably about 150 ads. No, probably more, even more than that, 200 ads of images and videos. And obviously Facebook's going to be bugging out, trying to figure out which of them to spend to, which is on me. But we're going to see what happens. I also think, because now the main spender that it's spending on is to an advertorial, which is a 1% click-through rate. So 99% of people that click to the advertorial aren't clicking through. So I've redone the advertorial because it was just horror. It was just so long. And I was based off a structure of this brand, which for some reason I thought was printing. I then realised they are not printing at all, and it's just some fucking noob. So I've completely rewritten the advertorial. And I'm waiting for... So basically I'm waiting for the theme. My theme is bugging with it, so it's just fucking with the fonts and stuff, so I'm waiting for that to get fixed, and then I'm going to launch that, and hopefully that'll be better, because that advertorial sucks balls. But I think it's just eye-opening, really. And especially with my old store, I only, the main spend was one video and then all native ads, and I think there's such a big difference between what makes native ads work and actual video ads, which I'm yet to crack, to be honest. Well, the video ad, so I had one top of funnel video ad that did really well in my old brand, and was actually a main spender, and this goes to show how unorganized I was with that brand. I didn't even know that was a video that was getting spend until the ad account got banned, and then I looked and I was like, oh wait, I have a winning ad that's a video, and it was completely top of funnel. Who would have thought that was gonna happen? Fucking idiot. So I've now got a lot better of a naming convention. So yeah, I'm just looking for products, really, because there's no point making more ads. I've still got genuinely 30 different video scripts, all for the same problem, all for the same avatar, because the avatar was the reason I did the product, because it's a super underserved avatar, but maybe they just don't want the solution, which is possible. I can't explain what I mean by that without saying the product or the avatar, which I don't want to do. It made sense on paper, but it's possible it won't work. Something that I was looking at potentially doing was single ingredient stores. So stores like Rosilia, like Rosabella, like BioRoot, so like doing single ingredient products or dual ingredient products, because the cogs on that, man, would be fucking insane. Like, they must be, I mean, I know they are scaling at the lowest, because they got the subs on at the lowest ROAS of all time, like 1 ROAS. Like, imagine your hit rate when you realize and now I'm just feeling my phone buzz. It's not even buzzing. I'm going insane. But the thing is, I don't want to just try and invent stuff. So I was looking at ingredients that you could base it on, and I found a good one. But I think the thing is, you can't really... I was looking at ingredients rather than looking at problems. And I think I have to do it the vice versa. I have to find a problem and then find a solution. That's what works so well with my old store. And also with my old store. So I found this problem, right? Which I'm not going to say. But it was this avatar that was completely underserved. Completely, no one was targeting them. I was the only one at the time. And there's a couple more who are doing a terrible job now. And I could go back and probably just outscale them. And their product probably won't work. They're new stores. I a lot, and I like a lot. I need to get better at speaking, which is something that hopefully this will help with. I'm not sure. I nearly said again. I'm going to keep saying but I started finding the solution. I mean, the problem. So I found the people, and I was like, okay. So I tried 3 different products to fix said solution, right? Before they were gadgets. And it wasn't working. I was like, there's no way that this avatar is bad, right? Because I know that this is a problem that they have, and they need a solution. So then my mate was like, have you tried try a new unique mechanism, like try not a gadget, try supplements. And I'm not going to say what it was, but it was a unique delivery mechanism, so how the actual supplement was delivered. And it worked insane. It was just overnight, went from the exact same problem, the exact same script writing, the exact same everything for this avatar at 250 pound CPMs, what drops to 150, and is all of a sudden you're getting like 3-4 ROAS. I scaled that to about 8k a day spend, and it stayed at like 3 ROAS. It was insane. At like 60% like complete margins, like 50%. They were the days, man. Anyway, so I think what I need to do is I also need to lock in with the gym, because basically when I get fat, I get this little look. You see this little bit of fat here? That's how I can kind of monitor it, and it spawned back in. And I put a bit of weight on in the last couple of weeks of Bali, so I need to lock back in. I'm gonna start walking again, eating a bit less, stop being a fat bastard. I've eaten like shit since I've been home, to be fair, like properly bad. Like, we went to this all-you-can-eat steak place. It was unreal. I genuinely believe I ate about 1.5 kilos of steak. I then ran a half marathon the next day, so made myself feel better. But I think I'm start walking again. Not bring my phone with me. Just walk. Chill out, connect with nature. It's lovely weather in the UK. When the weather's like this in the UK, wait, can I flip you? Nope, guess I can't. When the weather's like this in the UK, it's just lovely, man. It's so nice. That said, so excited to go back to Bali. It's unbelievable. Like unbelievably excited. If you've never been to Bali, and one, you're an entrepreneur, first of all, go, because everyone's the same. And second of all, if you've never been to Bali and you're single, go to Canggu. First of all, if you're not a good looking bloke, don't really recommend it. Everyone is like fucking Chris Hemsworth there. It's unbelievable. I've never been mogged so much. Is my microphone on? Can you hear me? Hello? Oh, you can. Okay. I've never been mogged so much in my life. But then the girls, man, oh my god. Basically everyone's just unreal looking. So now I'm back in the UK. It's just like, it's just kind of sad. Like at uni, where I'm going back in 2 days, it will definitely be a lot better. But it's just nice when there's good looking people, you know. You're just walking around, you're like, damn, she's good looking. You just go about your day. Don't say anything, but it's just like, fuck, fairs. Gotta get back to working so I can find some sort of rich gold digging girlfriend eventually. No, I'm joking. That's actually my worst nightmare. I've said this to people. Getting stuck with like a girlfriend. You know when you see those 60-year-old dudes with like 40-year-old like model girls, and you're just like, I mean, fair, but they clearly just want your money, and they're waiting for you to die so they can get all your money. It's just like, that's just a bit sad, you know. So that's something. That's the mission for life. Find a hot girlfriend in Bali, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think that's about it really. So I'm gonna keep looking for products, or looking for problems even. I think it's super rare to find a problem like I did, but so I probably won't be able to do that again. I think that was literally a once wanted a blue moon sort of situation, because problems like that, it was to do with a new trend, and I just spotted it. Little Ben in his university dorm room spotted it. But yeah, so this is episode 1, I guess, of Road to 100k day, and it's crazy how much, once you've made money, like, your perception of money changes, especially when you're not making money, because you're like, I was making 10k days and I know a lot more now than I did then, and I'm not making 10k days, and it's just like, fuck, that's humbling. And you see some retarded people making like 100k, and it's like, fucking hell. So 100k days definitely will come. I just need to find the product to do it, and I need to lock in and stop being a fucking freak and just doing nothing and just doom scrolling and watching YouTube all day. Basically consuming. You either consume or you produce. That's my way of looking at it. And if you're consuming too much, you're not going to be producing as much. So I need to fuck off watching the Sidemen, as much as I love the Sidemen, and actually lock in. So yeah, this is episode 1. I'll check back in a few days. I'll probably be at university when I next check in. So I'll show you that room, which is AIDS, because everyone will be able to hear me speaking, but it's not stuff we haven't done before. Last year in university. Oh, if you don't know, I assume most people in this will know, but I used to be a gym TikToker. I got to like 40k followers on TikTok, just absolute tweak out. And then I realised I didn't want followers. And I wanted a purpose, not to get too deep. And I thought my purpose was to get more followers and become famous. And then I realised I didn't want to become famous and I wanted to be rich. And then I realised building businesses is actually what I really enjoy doing. And I can make money doing it. And I just need a purpose, and I like going to the gym. That's why, because it gives me purpose. So I'm very purpose driven. I think 90% of humans aren't, especially men. 10% are, less, and I think I'm one of them. I've always known I want to do something in my life. Anyway, lots of love, squad. I'll see you in a few days. Maybe I'll be a millionaire by then, who knows.